A cup of hot chocolate with friends can't soothe it. The passage of time hasn't healed it. Every day, Sherry thinks about that night. Memories come in fragments. The nightmarish puzzle that still haunts her 15 months later.
Bringing it up now just makes me realize, like, it's not something that I can just get over.
We are not showing her face. Sherry is a rape victim. She had 2 friends with her to provide moral support. She's talking because she is hurt. She is angry. She feels re-victimized by her university's police department and the Dallas County District Attorney's Office.
I was expecting people whose jobs are to solely stand up for victims of sexual assault to do their jobs. And instead, what I was met with was the exact opposite.
It happened on the night of September 26, 2015. It's homecoming at our alma mater, Southern Methodist University.
I was super excited. A lot of friends were flying in.
That night, she met a friend's brother for the first time. They'd been drinking.
I mean, leading up to that moment, I felt normal. I felt completely safe.
She became separated from her other friends. Sherry last remembers walking toward the student center with that friend's brother.
I woke up too, crawling on my knees and throwing up and crying and heaving and hyperventilating.
Sherry woke up in the student center basement.
I've never been scared of a person before, but when I was in that state of mind, it was almost like animalistic, where I was just like screaming and heaving and just like on my knees.
She tried to crawl away from him.
He wouldn't let me use my phone, and he put his hand over my mouth so I wouldn't be able to talk on my phone.
Sherry took his phone and called a mutual friend. 2 of her friends came to her aid that night. I talked with both of them. They didn't want us to tape the conversation, so you won't hear it, but this is exactly what they said.
I didn't know what happened. And then when they told me they found the semen sample, I just was like this makes sense now. You know, like, why would you physically react like that?
Sherry was bruised on her knees and arms. Hospital records show she had vaginal bleeding. Her friends have no doubt Sherry was raped. Initially, Sherry didn't give police his name, but she soon did and told police her story. She wanted him prosecuted.
I don't think you can consent when you're crawling and crying and throwing up.
She was devastated last May when prosecutors told her in an email that a grand jury had declined to indict her attacker. Prosecutors claimed they'd mailed a notice of the grand jury hearing, a notification she never got. She was willing to testify. Her friend Christy Motley, a Dallas attorney, went to a meeting with her at the DA's office.
I had asked her to have a copy of the letter to see if the address was correct on it, and she stood up. No, you may not have a copy of that letter. You need to get out. You need to get out now. It became so upsetting. I actually came to tears because of their treatment of Sherry.
Sherry feels what far too many rape victims end up feeling, blamed for their own rape.
They feel invalidated, and they oftentimes regret the decision for going forth in the first place.
Trying to get answers, Sherry filed an open records request with SMU. SMU appealed to the Attorney General. SMU argued, according to the AG, that the information at issue would harm the, quote, privacy interest of the suspect. The AG rejected that claim, but agreed the university could withhold the documents since it did not result in a conviction or deferred adjudication.
This is not the behavior of organizations who are looking to protect this witness and advocate on her behalf. This is the behavior of organizations who are looking to hide something, to protect themselves, to protect a university in this town, and frankly, to protect a rapist. And that's unacceptable in my mind.
In September, Sherry received a heavily redacted one-page police report. Nothing else. SMU even redacted her name.
So you give me a sheet of paper that has no information on it whatsoever. Then why bother? Like, I don't understand.
Teddy.
For weeks after the attack,
Yeah, come here.
Sherry was afraid to leave the house.
Hi.
She had panic attacks.
Hi.
Still has panic attacks. She goes to counseling weekly at the Rape Crisis Center.
I also felt like I didn't deserve to be out and, you know, happy.
sometimes it's just too much. Listen to the sounds of a woman who more than a year later is still racked with so much pain.
It really makes me feel like I wasn't even treated like a human being. That like just completely breaks me. Like it just makes me feel so defeated.
Tanya Eiserer, Channel 8 News.